Well, one of the things I wanted to show you here is the quad. It's taken a couple of reiterations here, but it's pretty much set up. The battery goes inside here, but I just kind of wanted to show you all the stuff that's been going on. You can see it's got navigation lights, and it doesn't have the props on it. It's too dangerous. They're just way too big. But I did kind of want, I know you haven't seen the radio that I had. One of the cool things about this One of the cool things about this radio is it has vocal. Welcome to the Turnigy 9XR Pro quadcopter. And it's just really neat. It's full on computer basically. It's got all kinds of different settings, but this is probably the screen I have up most. It just kind of shows me the throw and direction of everything I'm doing. It's interesting and a cool radio because it's basically a computer that you then plug in the different radio protocol packs into. Now this is 433 megahertz. This is a long range, I think it's 1 watt, which is pretty good. It should go almost a kilometer. I don't need that. What I'm using it for is to punch through foliage. When you have this kind of radio frequency, yeah, you can go 2 miles off, but you know, honestly, that's just not the whole point. What this will do is actually go through dense foliage so that I can fly it in the trees and fly it into places and do some really cool video. One of the things you'll notice right away is that it's got some pretty good LEDs. Now I just moved it. I don't know if it's going to arm. Let's see if it does arm. Yeah, so you can then see that the red means it's armed and it's on. And I'll go ahead and throttle, and the motors come on, which is great. They're a little feisty right now. They're expecting to have 10-inch props, so there's a huge amount of horsepower here. As with any motor, especially electric motors, there's a huge amount of torque that these have. So this thing is just going to be awesome. You can see that there's a nice little Cylon effect, which is kind of cool on these lights. And then they go green, and the throttle is dead. And so I know that the quad is safe. And with those huge props that are going to be on here, that's mandatory. These LED bars are going to be on all of the limbs. So at any corner, I'm going to know what status it is. These are fully programmable LED lights. I had to go into the flight controller software and tell it I want this to happen. They can also do other things. They can indicate GPS lock. They can indicate the radio frequency signal. They can indicate battery levels. So there's all these cool things I can do once this thing is fully turned on. It's only about 60-70% functional. So I got those LED lights that are really smart to have with something that's so dangerous, that will tell me when it's armed and it's not armed. The other thing that I did, since this is a photography platform, is I set up the front gimbal, and most of the time this thing is going to be pointed down because you're going to be hovering over things and looking at things. The nice thing is you can also go all the way up, and that's going to be really cool. You can see the antenna is a little bit in the way there, but that's fine. A little of the tolerances, but that actually is being controlled from this potentiometer, not through the radio, but from the radio into the flight controller. And one of the things that'll be cool once I can figure out how to do it is once I set the level of the gimbal, as the pitches, it'll maintain that position so that it'll be a much more stable picture. Right now it's very remedial, it's very manual. I get to pick the which way I'm looking, and that's it, but that'll change. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I've been doing. This is hours and hours of time. It's been probably put together about 4 times. There's the power control systems, there's the flight control systems, you know, the LED, the camera. There's no video transmitter on here yet, and that still is part of it, but really it's most important to get these kind of LEDs on here so I can see the status, so that I can do a flight test, and that's kind of next. So the Daytona 500 is on, and I'm gonna go watch that, so enjoy the day.